Okay, welcome back to the session, part two of session 5. Um, we are going to add the roof outline now. I might want to just delete this now. I don't need it anymore. I've finished with this. So delete it. Do we have a roof outline? That's a good question. In here, I don't know. What's a roof outline? There you go. And if we have a look at that layer actually in more detail here. It is in a grey color and it is continuous, it says, and it's 0.18. Well, that's interesting. Now, what's this here? Oh, no, it's not. I was reading the wrong one. It's the floor outline. It's right, the roof outline. Dash dot. Yes, that makes more sense. It should be dashed, sort of line type. All right, so that's what that would do, we expect. All right, so we have a look at our plan here. Okay, so we've got this 3000 millimeter carport. We've got some dimensions here. Typical 600 overhang. That's all the way around the three sides. The carport is a bit wider. How am I going to do this? Number of ways I could do this. I'll choose one way. This I'll probably just trace around this to start with. I'll show you. It's more of a technique in this case. I think what I'm going to do, there's a number of ways of doing it. One is to just offset some of these lines. I could just offset this 600 and then join them up. I could draw a rectangle around the whole thing here, offset that 600 and then just drag that other bit, another 2400 to the left, and gives me my carport. Yeah, number of ways. Okay, so I'll try this method here. I'll draw a rectangle from that corner to that corner, and that's on top of, as you can see, it's on top of the other line. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go offset 600, enter, and then it just gives me that other way, and then I just delete that one. All right. The other way was to click on this, offset that 600 over here, then I can offset that up here, offset that down here, and then the other one I would offset 3000, and then I'll just fillet all these up and then join them up in a polyline. Another way of doing it. What I chose to do is draw a rectangle in the layer roof outline from this corner here to this corner here. Then I offset that 600. All right. And then I can just go here, click on that, click on this little control here, and just come straight across 2400. I think it's 3000, isn't it? Yeah, so I already got 600 plus 2400 is 3000. So that's exactly the same thing. Well, so the other way was to basically fillet this one and this one, and that one and that one, and put in the right layer, of course. So, but I won't do it that way. That's basically my roof outline. Plus, I've got to put the hips and ridge. Then we're done. All right, don't forget to give this drawing a bit of a save. We've done a bit of work in it. All right, so let's finish off this roof. So what we're going to do next is click on line command, and we're going to click on this corner here. And the trick is that you've got to be in the polar tracking. All right, so make sure you're in that. So it locks into the 45 degrees like before, all right? It doesn't matter how far we go, we just have to guess, you know. Maybe too long, maybe too short, doesn't matter. Click there and enter. All right, now you need to, this is important that you need to finish that line there, not continue it on to this corner here, okay? So you do that, 45 degrees, and then you do another one from this corner, again, lock it in at 45 degrees, yeah, that's good enough, or go past, whatever, doesn't matter, and enter. All right, so all you got to do next is basically draw a line either from the midpoint of here to this corner here, or from this corner here to the midpoint over there. It should be, what did it go intersection? Oh yeah. Well, when you go, oh, yeah, if you got this, sorry, where am I? This one here, follow tracking. If you go here, there's an arrow next to it. It should be set to 45 degrees. It is okay. So you just have to move around. So basically, a click line, a click somewhere, and as I go up here, it locks in. See, you can see that green line. Hang on. It's a bit hard to know what that is. You know, it's 2D. You know, but what we're going to do is trim this up, so it's nice and neat here. So what we've just put in here is the ridge, which is the highest peak on the roof, and then this here is the what are these called again? Hip hip rafters? Is that what they call them? I don't know. Some in here. There's a hip basically here. So we're going to trim this up. Home, trim, enter to here. Yeah, sorry, just trim. Yep. So it should look like that. So essentially what we've done, this is just in Revit, but just easier to see something I had in 3D. Looking from top, essentially this is not the same house, but if we just look at that much of it, that bit there is the same as what we've just drawn in 2D AutoCAD, right? But if you look at that in 3D, what that means in 3D, what it actually means, if we just throw it up in 3D, you might be familiar with this sort of thing because as you drive around, you see houses. It is, we've just drawn that. And that's what it looks like when you look at it from the top. All right. So back to this, that's it there. And on the other end, it's just a gable end. On the other end, it's a gable end, and that's what a gable end is. It hasn't got one of these roofs on it. It's just got a just like that. It's called a gable end. So okay, so in case I don't get around to demonstrating this to you again, this is a demonstration from the last group we had here last term in the same class. And to do this on paper, I'm dropping it on here like this, no dimensions, but that took 20 minutes from the start to finish to do that plan onto the floor plan, onto there. All right, so we might get around to show you, but if not, we do have a demonstration which I recorded, and it is in the last, it's accessible from the YouTube on this site. So it's the last thing I did, I think. All right, so anyhow, back to this. This course would have been done in one day, using Revit. Anyhow, keep going. Where are we now? All right, so we've done that, and that's basically a roof outline. Next is hatching and some toilets and that sort of thing. But I did have a request to change the blocks. If everyone's up to here, I'm happy to do that next. Any questions before we proceed? Yeah, you're up. I'm taking questions from it. You haven't trimmed the end bit? Yeah, we'll have a look. All right, so as I was talking earlier about the power of blocks, and how they can be modified to, immediately change everything. Okay, well, this is a bit detailed. How about if we go in and put that door thingy, stoppy thing here, and then see if we can update our block automatically, eh? How do we modify that? There's a number of ways. There's probably three different ways of doing it, but let me just keep it at the basic level. How about if we go and open your door block? So go open, navigate where that is. Um, there's a couple of different ways of doing it. The two other ways of doing it is modifying it so only the change is only in here in this drawing. The way I'm going to do it is so it's a permanent change for your door. So always you can use it in other drawings. So you decided now I'm going to change the style of my door, and from now on I'm going to use this type of drawing block. Right. So I'm going to go to my blocks, which are in my library here, and I'm just going to open it as a drawing. It's another drawing. While I keep that other one open, I'll open another one. Door 820. Here it is. All right. So now I'm going to make the change that I want on here. So um, about the middle, maybe, I don't know. We have a thing that goes out here. I don't know, 10, 15. I don't know how much. How much is it? It's 38. So how, 15 thinking, yeah. So 15 that way, and about 38 down. Is it from the middle like I did? No, doesn't look right. We'll place it. No, that's not right, is it? Yeah. Okay. So that should move more to the middle, shouldn't it? Of the door frame. Well, so the width of the door panel, isn't it? Which is about 38 mil. So you put a 38 or 40? 38. 38. Okay. So it's from up here, it's 38 down. Okay. So how do we get it 38 down from up there? Well, I should have drawn that 38 to start off with. Let's start again. Be easier. So if we go line, I'm going to go there. I've got my guides here next to the snap. There's this snapping guides or tracking. All right. Make sure they're on. If you go there, hang around for a bit. You don't click, and you go down. Oh, there you go. Now it's happening. Or you can just draw a line down and then go across that. So 38 down, and I'm going to go 15 out, horizontal there. Yeah. And I'm going to go down. Oh, it's not that big, is it? Oh, maybe it's only like 25. I don't know how big is it. Yeah, 25. Looks a bit thick. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just a 25, and then close it off here. All right. So that's the thing where my door is going to stop at, and I'm going to have one on the other side as well. I have two things. I'm going to actually fix this up first and see how we go. Oh, look at that! I stuffed it up. Look at that. That's terrible. That's the worst thing ever. Right? So hold it. Andreas just failed. All right. So let's just try a different way. Line. Um, it should work. I don't know why it moved. I'll try to go 38. No, it seems to be going the wrong way. I don't understand that. So I'm going to just draw a line straight down. I'm picking it up from here now, and I'm going straight down 38. I'm not sure why I'm getting it wrong, but that should be okay. And I'm just going to delete that after. Let's go 15. Let's go 25. By now, we should know how to do it all, right? Now that, and I'm just going to delete that line there because I've got a double line on top of it. Delete that. And I'm just going to trim, enter the bit there. So that's the shape I want for my frame now. Right. I'm going to fix this up, make it into like I join it as a one polyline, and then I'll mirror it over there, and then delete the other one. I suppose might be the easiest way. So I'm just going to join this up now. So I'm just going to highlight this. That's the whole thing like that, right? not that, not the arc. Just highlight that and just type in J enter for join. So that now is one piece. And I'm going to mirror that across. I'll just wait for you to catch up to that step. All right, so now we've done that bit. I'm going to mirror this across. So I'm going to use highlight that and go mirror. And I'm going to use shift right click, mid between 2 points. So I want to put my mirror line right in the center of this, upwards, like the center of this door, but there's no line there. I'm going to use this mid between 2 points. And I'm going to say, okay, my mirror line will be somewhere between, or in the middle between this point and this point, and it's going to go straight up. And put my ortho on, straight up. That's my mirror line. I'm just indicating my mirror line now. And do I want to delete the old one? No. Or the existing one? No. But I've got another one under here now, which I delete that's the original one that was there. Now I'm left with this. My base point has not changed. My zero, my location where I said is the base, the session point hasn't changed. All I did is just change the shape. And then all I'm going to do is just save this. Just press save. And that's it, we're done. Just close that now. We'll come in here and we'll redefine all the doors at a blink of an eye. Minus this one here, because this one here is different, right? It's not the same name. It will look different. All right, so I'll wait for you to do that. Save it. You don't have to close it, but might as well close it. And then we can redefine them. All right, so basically we did that. It's all separate. The door is updated on the hard disk. We need to bring it in here now to update. So we just go insert button here. Now, don't be tempted to pick this because that's not going to do anything. You've got to actually go to the hard disk and drag in the new one. And you have to actually browse. All right, do not miss this step. You have to browse. Then you have to go and pick up this one here, which has been updated now, and it's got the little stoppers on it. All right, and then you just go open, and okay, so that now will bring. If I go okay now, it'll do it. Then it says, okay, great. There's already one in here. You're bringing one from the hard disk. It doesn't know that it's been updated, but yeah, but if you bring it from the hard disk and it's already in here, it will ask you if you want to redefine it, just in case. But we know it has been updated, so we want to redefine it. It says here there are 6 instances of that door in here, so all 6 of them we updated. If I go redefine, okay, redefine block. All right, so let's see. It does bring one in as well, but I don't want it. I just escape. I don't want that one. Escape. See, they're all done. They're all very nice doors. Look at that. Love it. All right, easy. And that's the satisfying thing about that. You know how to make the block. Now the power of it is, yeah, there you go. It saves you a lot of work, really, because we work in an industry where people change their mind all the time. So it's very likely that things will change. Yes, nod. Yes, exactly. So that's good to know. That potentially on a bigger job would save you hours of work. Of course, I haven't finished putting the door in or the joinery, but that's fine. We're going to do the hatching the brickwork next. All right. So let's go to where else do you go and you drive the curriculum? Okay. TAFE. All right. So we're going to go to layer properties and just I went into the full command knowing that I haven't got a hatch layer here. So I need to put one in. I would like to differentiate between my hatches as well. So I'm going to create a hatch for the walls only. And I'm going to click this first button here. Well, there's a few more over here, but the first of the 4. And then it gives me a new layer called layer 1. And I'm just going to simply just start typing that, or over type that one when it's blue. All right. So everybody got this dialog box up by way of getting the home button and the layer button there. Yeah, this one here. Now I'm just going to type in and call it wall hatch. All right, I'm going to prefix it with a wall. So wall dash hatch. That's just my system. Doesn't matter how you whether you put a space or a dash. Enter. Now all my wall related stuff is together alphabetically. It did give me a color 8, which is fine for a hatch. Something grey is good. If not, you can make it a grey, you can make it red, pink, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Um, at the end of the day, it's going to print out black because it's going to print it out all out in monochrome. So it's the line weight that makes a bit of a difference. You can make it even thinner. You could go probably down to 0.13 if you like. But yeah, 0.13. It is also a dash dot in my case because it just picked up on the last layer that I must have created or used. So I'm going to change it from dash dot line type to be continuous line type. Right, that's it. So I've got my layer. While I'm here, I might create another one. Floor tiles. Have it ready for next time. All right. How about some floor tiles? Let's go. Create a new layer. Uh, Floor dash tiles. Perfect. And that one is also color 8. It is continuous, which is good. 0.13 is fine as well for the line type there. We are going to set the wall hatch as the current layer by double clicking on the word wall hatch. And that gives it a little tick next to it. And it makes it current right through. Makes it current everywhere. All right, so I'll wait for you to finish that and I'll get into the hatch command. Okay, so we've got wall hatch ready to roll. The thing that you need to know about hatches is that they hatch enclosed spaces, okay? So if I've got a gap somewhere, it won't, well, it may or may not hatch. It will just leak out. If I had a gap in here, say this was not accurate, and it was like, like that, the hatch from my wall will leak out and come into here until it hits that line there, and just hatch all over your roof. Not eggs, just hatch. All right, so yeah, you've got to make sure you have enclosed spaces. Also, what it does, it will the way I'm going to use it is it will hatch up to another line like this line here, and then after hatch this spot here again separately because it finds a line and stops. A bit like the trim command, it goes up to something and stops. All right, so the trim command. So for hatching, I'm going to turn off the roof, make my life easier. So I'm going to click on this roof line there, and that just gives me the layer there. You can imagine if you either you don't know the name or you've got more layers than we have. It's a shortcut way of getting that. If I escape that, I've got wall hatch. But if I click on it, immediately gets me to that layer name, and I can just see it highlighted and turn it off. All right, and it's gone. All right, and we'll just turn it on when we're ready. All right, so yeah, we're going to hatch just the brickwork. So I might just turn off my thick lines as well in this instance, like that, so I can just see more of the hatch. Otherwise, they just become really bulky and not much area to look at. So yeah, under Home tab, draw, panel, hatch or H, enter, should do the trick. So there's a hatch there in the bottom right. Click it, the menu changes, gives you a new tab, hatch creation tab. All right. That comes up when you're creating one, or if you've clicked on an existing hatch, it'll bring this back up. All right, just sensitive to what it is. All right, so ANSI 31, or what are we using? 31, 32. 32, I think, is for the brick hatching double. All right, so I click that. There's some options over here. All right, associative annotative. Okay. Annotative is what I want, all right, and associative is what I want as well. What associative means is that if I hatch this area in here and then my wall perhaps goes from 110 to 150 wide brick, it'll expand the hatch to fill that new void or area, right? So I don't have to rehatch it. Annotative on the other hand, it means it works with this 1:100 thing here. So the hatch down the bottom here, 1:100. So the hatch will only be visible later on when we put this on the sheet in what's called a 1:100 viewport. Right? If I when I create my sheet, I say it's going to be at 1:100 scale. It will only show it when it's set at 1:100. Now that's helpful. Well, that's helpful if you, for example, wanted to perhaps do a detail somewhere here, or perhaps you wanted to do 1:200 floor plan of this. That'll be a better example. And you don't really want to show the detail of hatching on there. I mean, it gets too much. So you want that excluded. It automatically not show it because this hatch has been designated to only be visible when the scale is 1:100. Because when we created it, we had this thing set to 1:100. And we said it's got to be annotative, which means it works with the scale. Right? Same thing with, I talked about blocks before. Annotative blocks, like a north point, a symbol for a switch or something, will work with the scale, and it will only be visible when the scale was set to, if I brought the switch at 1:100, it will only show up when I've got a floor plan set to 1:100. So that actually helps us because you might want to, it automatically scales things up as well. It scales the, if it was a switch, for example, it'll have to be brought in at different sizes to show up for 1:50 as opposed to 1:100. So having something annotative is great if you've got the block already like that. But with the hatch, we also got the opportunity, if we create this one as annotative now, we have the opportunity to add scales to it later. So if I decide later, now I already talked about 1:200. I don't want it to show up at 1:200, so that's fine. I don't do anything. But if I want to blow up a detail of this at 1:10, say right at that corner there, that detail there, I can decide to go that later and say, okay, for this section of the hatch here, add 1:10 to it as well. So it will be also visible for 1:10 details, right? Without me having to rehatch it. Same thing goes with text. You have annotative text. Your room names can have you can add scales to it. So that room name you put in can also be used for 1:50 floor plan, furniture plan or something. So it automatically rescales that for you. You might say, okay, well for 1:50, I'm going to put a table in the middle of the room, and therefore that's going to clash with my text. Well, it has covered that as well because you click on it, it shows you a ghosting of the 1:100 and also the 1:50, and you can actually move one away from the other. But essentially, when you change, if you decide to call dining room to family, it will change both pieces of text automatically. They're linked still, so you have the flexibility to move them for different floor plans, but it's essentially the same element. Weird stuff. Anyway. Okay, we'll get to that later maybe. But for now, that's a bit of theory about hatching and why we're making it annotative and associative. All right, so we've done that. We picked our pattern, and note here, we are on pattern. That's why we're seeing pattern here, and there's more patterns here. All right, see, all the way down. We're on pattern, that's why we're seeing that. Otherwise, there's other options. There's solid. See, we're seeing that goes on solid, and there's gradient. We're seeing different stuff. Uh, but really, it's just one command. User defined. We're only just seeing that. But if you have a look through though, I'm just going up and down. See, these things appear. So really, everything is in here under pattern. It's just a matter of you going up and down. Eventually, you'll find what you want. But this is just a shortcut to just to those sections of it. All right. So pattern begins with some patterns. Solids are also there, which is great. Go with the ANSI 32, and you should be able to be in a pick point. If it should automatically go into that. If it doesn't, just click on this pick point, and if I go in between there, did I get the right one? ANSI 32. That was all right. Click it in here. Again, that's right. Now, if you don't like the frequency or where this happened, you can change the scale. Say, for example, 0.5 will give me twice as many, okay, in that section. Well, of course, I'm going in here and trying to put one here. I don't want one in here. So you can just keep going around. Now, when you're going around, there's options here as well. My options are set to create separate hatches. I'm not sure what yours are. See, it's got the blue on top of sort of highlighted, create separate hatches. It means I can do them in one go, going around, click, 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 do them all in one command, but you actually have them as separate sections so I can control each one separately if I want to. I think that's a good option. So I can go in here now and just drop one in there, but it's not much because it's only a short space. In here now, got to be careful sometimes. If it doesn't see the other end of it, it might not do it. That's coming up now, but here's not. Come out a bit. No. So sometimes you have to just move around or just actually just click in between those two lines and just does it. Here it's not showing me, but it's probably not going to put one in there because it's such a short space. There. I'll click in there. It wasn't coming up, so just click in it. And in here, that's why I took the thick lines off because I can have more space to click in between. All right, so okay, that will work so far. So far, no gaps in here. All right, so good. And then just escape when you finish. And there it is. Give it a bit of a save. And you got your hatch. You can turn your roof back on, I suppose. But I won't yet because I know I want to put in some floor hatching in here, so that again is going to interfere. So I'll wait. Let's hatch. That's a little hatch. We've not got much time left, so we'll just cover a bit more. We haven't done stretch as such yet. I wonder what would happen if we did stretch now, out of interest, with the hatch happening there. Let's have a look. What if I wanted to make this room a meter wider? All right. So you can hit the stretch command. You can actually highlight first, but I like to do the stretch command with this one. I hit the stretch command first. And with the stretch, you've got to do a crossing window. So it means one of these with the green windows with a dashed outline. So you've got to start from the right and move to the left. So start from here and move to here. Now, it depends. If I wanted to grow that much from there so that the door stayed where it is, I didn't want to bring the door with me. I won't include the door. I'll go to there. I'll just make it a meter wider. If I wanted to maintain the relationship of that corner width there with the door, I'll go here and pick up the door as well. Right? Depends what you're trying to do. Say I want to do that. I don't want to necessarily include that window in. Yeah. So up to there. So whatever is in that window now, And at the left-hand side, there was a line straight down where I did the crossing window. At that point where that line went down is where it basically cuts it and stretches it. That's the stretching point. Anything inside the window just moves. The door will just move. These windows will just move. All that wall here will just move. This bit here and there's where it's going to start stretching. And by the same way, you can also make the room a meter smaller. I can compress it the same way. Depends if I go left or if I go right when I'm stretching it. So the stretch compresses as well. So it makes it smaller. All right, so that's all you're going to do. Stretch, do the crossing window, press enter. Finished. Then, like the copy command or whatever, it says, oh, where do you want to pick it up from? I don't know. I'll pick it up from here. I don't care. I'm putting a number in. I don't care. As soon as I've got my author on, I'm putting a number in. It doesn't matter. You just pick it up anywhere. It just moves with your cursor, right? So I'm just going to type in 1,000, 1 meter. Yeah, that's it. So that room, okay, look what happened. Hey, the hatching is there, right? Because it's associative with the line work. It knows the boundaries it was originally created in, right? Okay, so now we're going to compress it a meter back, so we'll go back to how it was. So I'll show you another way. By not selecting the command first, I can just do this, all right, and then go stretch. Now it doesn't ask me to press enter or anything because I pre-selected. So I just click here, go across 1,000. So other way, use it however you want. Maybe easier to just do that first, perhaps, and then press the stretch command. All right. So that also tested that our hatch is in fact associative. It hasn't tested that it's not additive yet. Because haven't done different scales, but yeah. And because I hatched this in here before, even though I didn't, oh, so he's showing me a little hatch. But if I was to say, okay, well, this, if I was to do a detail here at 1:50, it would probably show me quite a few hatches in there because it's going to blow that up and it'd be on, when you print it out, it will have more room to put a hatch in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's we've got 5 minutes. What can we do next? I won't go into the other hatching because what we're going to do is put a toilet in so it's ready to hatch around the toilet for next week. All right. Just drop a toilet in. All right. We don't have a toilet, so we're going to use one that AutoCAD gave us. Under View, 2 pallets. Yeah. Control 3 is the way to get it up displayed. So 2 pallets. All right. There is there's the hollow stuff. There's the notation stuff. Oh, don't worry about that one. Structural stuff. All right. There's also architectural. There should come to architectural should be the one there. And you got imperial samples here, and you got metric samples below that. All right, everyone got that or not? Oh, okay. So if you get the palette up, you got that up. Everyone got the palette up. All right. If you can't see the architectural thing, click down the bottom here where there's a whole lot of little tabs. And it gives you like a list. And there's architectural there. So just at the bottom here at the end, click and gives you architectural. So you know you're on the right tab. All right. Easy? Yeah. You can see there's a door in here. There's a window that they give us, a window elevation, fluoro. But toilet metric is on there. So click the toilet metric. That'll come in. I know I haven't got the right layer for it yet, but don't worry about that. We'll sort it out next week. And it doesn't look like anything like a toilet. But just drop it here somewhere. There's my toilet there. All right. Anybody got that thing? Right? Sorry, yeah. You got it? like that. Done. All right. Everyone got a toilet? Yeah. All right. So now click on this toilet, and there's a little like a play button down here in the bottom left, and go for not a pull chain. It's a plan we want, round plan maybe, or elongated. Let's see. Maybe elongated plan. What's a round one look like? Let's see. Round plan. Oh, that's cute. I just go with the elongated one. I don't know. Plan. There you go. All right, so there it is. We'll put this in the right layer next week, but I won't muck around now. If you pick, see how it's got a little it's got a parameter. It's called an alignment of parameter. You can pick it up from here, click, let go, bring it over here. Hopefully, when it hits the window, it'll turn around. It's a bit weird, but it's supposed to do your rotation for you. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth because it doesn't actually work. You click it and it goes the wrong way. And you see, it's a lot of hassle. I'm not going to get it to work. So I'm just going to rotate this 90 degrees, highlight it, home tab, rotate. Doesn't matter where from, just click somewhere on it and do this. And then we can click it and move it the traditional way from the midpoint to there. So thanks for nothing for giving us all these tools that don't actually work. They work a lot better in Revit. Anyhow, you've only got 30 seconds left, so we'll leave it there. And, sorry, well, we'll probably put it in the plumbing or something next week. Like that, create a new layer. I don't think we've got one, have we? Plumbing, fixtures, whatever, something like that. Okay, I'll pause this. Okay, we'll see you next week, and bring along your projects. We should be able to finish the up to paper space tomorrow, next week, halfway through the lesson, then start our own project hopefully, and we'll put in dimensions as well as some text on the drawing. All right, see you next week.